Okay, picture this. You're somewhere noisy, maybe a bar, maybe watching a game, maybe just. But inside, it's quiet, like really quiet. You can talk about work stuff, fine. Sports stats, easy. Even dive into, I don't know, philosophy or something abstract. But if someone, like, really asked what's weighing on you, what's actually going on inside, suddenly, nothing. The line goes dead.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to the deep dive.
Today, we're getting into something huge, a real tension in modern life. It's this conflict between how society expects men to be, this unflinching strength idea, and what we all actually need, which is real connection. Our mission today is to try and understand why that genuine friendship, the kind that actually helps you get through things, often gets blocked by the very performance men feel they have to put on.
And we really need to start with just how big this loneliness issue is. I mean, sure, some men navigate this brilliantly, they have strong bonds, but the overall picture, it's pretty bleak, honestly. For maybe every one guy who has a really solid male friend, someone they can actually call in a crisis, there might be, 8 others who, deep down, know they don't have anyone like that. Not really. And this isn't about individual failing. That's crucial. It's not that these guys can't connect. It's rooted in this really tough conflict. What society asks of a man and what's needed for real friendship. They're often total opposites. So this loneliness, it's almost a systemic outcome of these impossible, conflicting demands.
Okay, right. So let's unpack that contradiction. If we're built for connection, why do so many typical male gatherings feel, well, a bit empty, emotionally speaking? What do guys usually talk about? We're good at finding common ground, shared interests, but that's not quite intimacy, is it? We talk about sports scores, maybe technical details about engines or stock market returns, or we go abstract, right? Debating Picasso's influences or justice in Plato. It's all external stuff, intellectual alibis almost.
And yeah, that's interesting, isn't it? Because those things do have value. Bonding over shared interests, debating ideas, that creates camaraderie. So why is that dismissed as not real connection?
Exactly. It feels like it should count for something.
It does count for something. Shared presence, shared focus, absolutely key. But here's the thing. It doesn't sustain you. Knowing about, say, Plotinus and the Renaissance is interesting, sure. But it won't pull you through when you're staring at the ceiling at 3 a.m. and your world feels like it's crumbling. That requires something deeper.
Right. We connect over the world out there, not the messy world in here. So if the intellectual chat isn't enough, what is the bedrock of real friendship? What's the price of entry for that kind of connection? Sounds like it might be high.
The bedrock is vulnerability. But it's more than just being open.
Right.
It's about mutual raw confession. A friendship doesn't really hit that deep level until you've risked showing the other person that you're as weak or scared or messed up as you sometimes feel you are.
Okay, this is where it gets really intense. You're saying real connection only starts when someone can actually say those things out loud. Things like, I feel like I'm losing my mind, or I actually hate my partner right now, or even just, I'm scared, or help. Wow, it's a lot to admit.
It is, because those confessions directly attack that performance of masculinity we talked about. It means admitting the anxiety doesn't stop, or maybe confessing something huge like infidelity, I'm falling for someone at work, or even physical struggles, things tied to shame like I can't perform sexually anymore.
So it's not just admitting a failure, it's admitting the whole strongman act is, an act.
Precisely. It's confessing the lie, admitting you've been putting on a front, revealing that the reality inside is much messier, sadder, maybe more tender, definitely more complicated than you've let on.
Yeah.
That moment, taking off the mask, that's the key. That unlocks the kind of bond that can actually fight off despair.
Which sounds absolutely vital for, just surviving life, but it slams right into that societal pressure cooker. This idea that being a man means being. Unflinching, solid, unshakable. You're supposed to be resourceful, buoyant, never perturbed. You get dumped, fired, humiliated. You just take it. You don't crumble. You certainly don't admit you're grieving or loss.
Oh, right. And where does that come from? It seems so deeply ingrained.
Yeah, and feels ancient, almost.
It probably is, in many ways.
Yeah.
Historically, maybe function had to trump feeling for survival, for building things, for defending things. But it calcifies into this relentless focus on keeping face. Whatever you do, don't be seen as weak. Don't be a crybaby. That's like the ultimate taboo. Softness, sentimentality, forbidden.
And the tragedy there is think of all the emotional energy spent just maintaining that wall.
Exactly. It's a huge waste. And here's the kicker. Men are capable of incredible empathy and tenderness. Look at art, literature, history, soaring poetry, gut-wrenching novels, acts of profound protection. The capacity is there, but it has to be directed outwards. towards art or ideas or protecting others.
Never towards their own inner chaos.
And crucially, almost never towards other men. You can express tenderness about something, but not to another guy, not in a way that shows your vulnerability.
So they live barricaded, defending an illusion they didn't even choose, while inside there's all this complexity just walled off. Okay, so if that's the problem, this deep barricade, how do we start breaking it down? What's the path out of this loneliness?
Well, the first step, maybe counterintuitively, is just admitting the difficulty exists. Maybe even with a bit of humor, acknowledging how absurdly hard it is to have these conversations.
Admitting the awkwardness.
Yes. And because our usual ways of socializing don't naturally lead to this kind of honesty, the suggestion is, well, it sounds a bit artificial, maybe even silly.
Go on.
Conversation cards, like actual packs of cards, designed to be used in those typical male spaces. The pub, the golf club, maybe even the office break room.
Cards. Seriously, that feels incredibly forced. Why is something so structured?
It feels forced because the conditioning against vulnerability is so strong. The cards act like a temporary permit.
A permit for intimacy?
Sort of, yeah. It's like a third party saying, okay, for the next few minutes, the usual rules are suspended. You're allowed to answer this. It takes away that terrifying moment where one person has to just jump off the cliff first, emotionally speaking. If it's the card asking, you're not being soft by answering. You're just, following the prompt. It's a social lubricant.
Okay, I can see the utility then. It provides structure where maybe courage is lacking. So what kind of questions are we talking about? They'd have to be pretty direct. Right?
No, absolutely. They have to cut through the usual defenses.
Right.
Things like, when did you last cry?
Wow.
Or, what's a major fear you have that maybe even your partner doesn't know? Or, what would you tell me if you absolutely knew I wouldn't judge you?
That last one is powerful.
And maybe the simplest, but deepest. What does the little boy inside you feel right now?
Yeah, I can see how the immediate reaction might be. This is ridiculous, unnecessary. It feels embarrassing just thinking about it.
Totally. It pushes all the wrong buttons according to the usual script. And yet
it creates a tiny crack.
Exactly. A small, structured chance for someone to let the mask slip, just for a moment, to show something more real than the performance. It's like a practical tool to start chipping away at that illusion, even if it feels awkward as hell.
So, zooming back out,
Yeah.
the big picture here, it seems the tragedy is this vast, untapped well of male empathy and feeling. We see it in culture, in history.
Men clearly have this profound capacity.
But it's constantly rerouted, directed outwards anywhere but towards themselves or, crucially, towards each other.
And the why just keeps coming back to that core fear, doesn't it?
The fear of seeming weak.
Yeah. The terror of being seen by other men as less than a man, as childish or metaphorically like a woman, someone society permits to receive comfort, but not someone a real man should be. So you wall it up. You hoard the tenderness to keep your standing.
So here's something to think about. As you go about your week, as you observe the guys around you, maybe even yourself, what if? What if all that courage men use every single day to defend that illusion, that performance of strength? What if that same courage was turned towards something else? Towards the much harder, much scarier courage required for real, messy, sometimes painful connection? If we chose vulnerability over being unflinching, what kind of friendships might we finally build? What kind of support could we finally find?